Mike, how delicate is kind of his offense in the middle? Should you guys try to attain and like holding it, maintaining it, and losing it? What's sort of that balance and act? Fighting.
Yeah. Well, there's still a lot of habits that people have. That it's hard to break habits. Guys that played a certain way their entire life. It's hard to break them in a couple months span. That you have to continue to kind of work at it as a group. And when things kind of, in the games, when adversity hits, when we're not making shots, when we turn it over, like those are more important times to lock in on. And I think we kind of become a little bit more like hero ball when stuff like that happens, to say, I got to get us out of this, or I got to get us out of that. Trying to stay away from that mentality, I think, is going to be a constant fight for us. If we can minimize it, I don't think it'll be something that'll just go away completely. I believe if we can minimize it, it'll make our offense jump a lot.
How hard is it, like, if one guy, 5 on the field kind of falls over to his can it affect just how everything else looks? Game or a half or sequence of possessions.
Yeah, having one guy out of rhythm, out of sync, one guy doing their own thing, you see it all the time. Like, guys are, you can see it in body language from the other 4 on the court. Somebody just starts going sideways with what we're trying to do with the team. Guys are cutting and running, trying to make plays, but we don't get rewarded for doing so. Guys hang their head, they don't run back, the defense is fast. Like, it affects everything. So to try to keep everybody linked up and understanding how important each individual role is to the cohesiveness of the offense is important.
Is the third quarter game kind of a matter of how even then the defense gets affected by looking at?
It definitely was. We've talked about this constantly throughout the season. We've seen it throughout the season. So we've done better as of late. So the Milwaukee game and majority of the Nets game, we weren't necessarily ourselves like we had been, but we know we're capable of doing it. So, and that's why it's frustrating.
Is it bizarre to have 40 wins, be the number 1 seed in the West, and have this thing kind of offensively that's been a kind of persistence level the whole year?
Yeah, it is. But like I tell everybody, like, all the teams that are up there in standings, number 1, 2, or 3, they're all dealing with something. We're all in it in this in particular bubble, but I'm sure Boston has their thing. I'm sure Milwaukee has their thing. Like, this is our thing. Our thing is trying to figure it out offensively. We've been on other teams where we've been elite offensively, and then defensively, there's just one thing that really bothers us, and we fall into it every so often. So, it's about trying to, how can we balance it? How can we, get our offense to a level where it's good enough, to compete late in the season and late in the playoffs. So, I think we still get better at it.
Have you drawn a past experience on a different team where you sort of had that deal throughout the season? At end of the year, end of the regular season, you kind of found some answers for that made you ready to the playoffs?
Yeah. I thought in our Utah year, outside of our injuries, which really kind of hurt us that year, we had figured some stuff out for the switching. Teams switched us and tried to play Rudy off the floor, try to play super small ball. Or defensively, we had figured out a way to minimize the damage on that side and keep him in the game and keep our offense rolling. And we just I got hurt, Don was hurt. We had a bunch of guys kind of in and out. Going against the Clippers that year, and the Clippers are an elite team, so you can't have that happen. And so it's the same here. We're going to have to deal with what we're dealing with on our offensive end, and how guys have tried to evolve individually, and how their growth goes is how our offense will continue to go. So we just got to continue to do it together and keep holding each other accountable on that end.
What have you observed how Finch and the offense on the staff has sort of addressed overall either? Messed with a few guys, also made their own adjustments.
Yeah, they've been really detailed on what we need to do in order to accomplish things, and they might have, they've put it out on the table, and we all know what we need to do. It's about the players literally going out there and doing it, and I think the biggest thing over the last few weeks has been, us having more energy on that side, like just moving our bodies, being willing cutters, cat rolling more sometimes, popping more, like being able to read the situations and who's on the floor with you. And that kind of stuff really matters. Might seem small, but us all standing around the perimeter is not a good look for offense. So we got to keep our guys moving and trying to think about the next play.
How fast do things now move? I mean, post All-Star break, right? Next thing you know, 2 months from now, we're talking about you guys in the first round of the playoffs. Like, is it just kind of a fast-forward button, like, be it right now?
Yeah, this time of the year goes by really quickly, and that's why it's so important to stay locked in and accomplish what you're trying to accomplish now. Like, we want to be working on what we need to work on now, going up to March, April, right before the playoffs, where we're not having the same discussions about what we're having today. Instead, we can focus on what we need to do for whatever team we're getting ready to go against and how they can utilize what we do against them. So it's a great opportunity for us. We got everything in front of us. We're going to keep working and see where we go.
Thank you, Mookie.